Hello, welcome to the video on ecotourism. I am Omar Aminu Mohammed from Bauchi State University, Gada. In our previous video, we look at some of the antelopes that are predominant in the Africa region in particular, and we saw that there is a little bit difference between the male and the female species, which is basically what's called sexual dimorphism. We're going to continue from where we stopped. In today's video, there is this particular species which is abundant in the sub-Saharan Africa and the subfamily Reduncinae, the Cobus ellipsipremnus, which is the water bug. It basically lives in the scrubland, the savanna alongside rivers and lakes. It's a kind of species that likes to live close to where there's water. This is the male, as you can see. It has this horns that have a shape like an Y, which is basically a symbol of one of the game reserves in Nigeria, which is Yankari Game Reserve, and this is the female. And the next one is the round antelope, Hypterogus equinus. It has this equinus in the sense that it's a little bit similar to the horse, the genus of the horse, which is the Equus, and it belongs to the Hypterogene subfamily, and its habitat is the open and or light wooded grassland. It's found in West Africa and Central Africa. It is also found in a lot in the Nigerian Game Reserve, most especially Yankari Game Reserve. You can see the difference between the male and the female. Minor difference in this case. And if you look at this one, this is called the Great Kudu, which is the Trigelaphus sepsicerus from the bovine family. And it is a scrub woodland kind of a species. It is one of the largest mammal that settles. It doesn't mind settling where the area is a little bit settled with living things and what have you. And it's also living scrub, apart from scrub woodlands, bushes, and abundant fields and degraded pastures, moraine bush, acacia in lowlands, hills, and mountains. It is found in Eastern Africa and Southern Africa with the 8-month gestation period. And if you look at the male, it has this unique shape of a horn, and the female does not have a horn. And this is the lowland bongo, the Tragelaphus uricerus, and it is a lowland kind of rainforest organism that is found in West Africa and the Congo Basin, and they are a little bit threatened. And it has a gestation period of 9 months from the family Bovine. It also have a unique horn. If you can see the way the horn is a little bit twisted. This is the female. So there's what's called the mating strategy in various organisms. Antelopes are unique in the sense that their female have a typical estrus or a heat period of just 1 day in a year. So it means throughout these 365 days in the year, they only have this urge to mate in a single day. So during this brief time, they compete with other fertile female to mate with the fittest male as frequent as possible to ensure conception, which means there's competition between female species at that particular day. And on average, the female mate with 4 males, which is basically 11 times during that particular day. Now, male reproductive success, which is called the RS, depends on the initially on intrasexual competition, which means they have to compete between different males of the same species to get access to a female, which leads to territorial behavior, and secondly, on how to maximize the number of mating they achieve. So mating strategies often depend on an advantage that owner of a particular territory or a group of female has over the competitors. So one of the first things that usually happen is that they compete within each other to get this particular supremacy or that particular leadership or ownership of a particular herd or a particular territory, where you see series of head breeding competition. You have to be physically fit, you have to have big horns and what have you. And thus, rather than establish an individual reference for dominance, a male must establish itself as an owner. Now, if you are an owner in a particular territory, if you are not going to be following a particular herd, then you have to wait for the females to come to this particular herd, and then you get access to mating. And in practice, this reference of dominance are linked because only males that have achieved high status leave male groups and try to take over territories. In some cases, when a male is so dominant in a particular group, he will have this arrogance and try to go to another group or another territory and try to conquer that particular territory and dispose the leader of that particular territory. And once established once established in a territory, males will win all agonistic encounters up to the time when they are defeated by a high status intruder and thus lose that particular territory. Now, what usually happens is that when you are a leader of a particular group, various males will be challenging you as time goes on, as they are growing stronger, and you keep fighting them off till you lose that particular title. But one of the major issue is this particular question, which is why do owners always win? Owners of particular territory have more to lose than intruders that have to gain, and they may thus be prepared to escalate a contest further, even if they are injured to some certain extent. Because if you lose the battle, definitely you'll be banished from that particular area. Now, if females' movements are mainly designated to optimize their nutrients intake, then male have two reasons for movement. And now these two options is basically to maximize the number of mating and of course the food they eat. They can either follow one or a group of female over a part or all their foraging movement and maintaining dominance over males that are also following, which is quite challenging. Or they can wait in a part of the range that females visit and defend this area against male. Now, this is basically unique in the sense that you might look for a particular spot that you know a female will always pass through that particular spot and you have a chance to mate with them, but you also have to defend that particular territory. And the latter, a sit and wait strategy, is usually called resource defense territoriality because it involves defending resource that female need. But when the female are in heat, they will go to certain places, they know they will get the female. So don't forget, we also have terminologies related to mating strategies, and these terminologies include this one, which is called polyandry, which is a situation whereby female met with more than one male due to circumstances. There are circumstances whereby um, the female are the male are too many, of course, or the opportunity, most especially during their heat periods, this particular strategy might be employed. Then there's what's called polygyny, where a male can mate with many more females. This is basically predominant, most especially when you have a leader in a territory. He has the right to mate with a lot of females. Then we have the polygynandry, which is a mating system in which both the male and the female have multiple mating partners during the breeding season. So cheers, see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this.